What was that old fool thinking?
On the morning of April 19th, 1775, the British Army marched through the Massachusetts countryside. Hundreds upon hundreds of redcoat regulars, muskets gleaming, bayonets fixed. They had already spilled American blood at Lexington and more at Concord. Now they were marching back to Boston, and they were angry, exhausted, and ready to punish anyone who stood in their way. Most men would have hidden behind locked doors as they marched past, but Samuel Whittemore was not most men. He was nearly 80 years old, a farmer with gray hair, worn hands, and a lifetime of hardship etched in the carved lines of his face. But when the thunder of British boots reached his village, something fierce rose inside of him. Age may have withered his body, yes, but not his courage. Whittemore stepped outside with a musket, 2 dueling pistols, and an old sword he had carried in earlier wars. He knelt behind a stone wall as the British column approached, dozens of hardened grenadiers marching in tight formation. Samuel Whittemore took aim, steady and unafraid, and pulled the trigger. A British soldier fell. The column then erupted. Officers shouted, drums rattled. Whittemore stood his ground, though. He drew then his 2 pistols, fired one, then the other, dropping another soldier and wounding a third. By then, the redcoats were upon him. They shot him at point-blank range, a musket ball tearing into his face. He collapsed, bleeding, but still alive. The grenadiers then swarmed him, stabbing again and again with their bayonets, driving steel into his body until they believed they had finished the old man. Then they left him in the dirt to die. But Samuel Whittemore did not die. His neighbors found him hours later, mangled, soaked in blood, barely conscious, and carried him to a doctor who shook his head and said the old man would not live through the night. But Samuel Whittemore refused to die in a world without liberty. You see, he recovered, and he lived another 18 years, long enough to see this beloved nation of his win their freedom that he had so bravely fought for on that lonely morning. He was not a general. He was not a politician. He was just an old man who looked tyranny square in the eye and refused to bow. He is a mostly forgotten hero of American history.